Well, we are now getting back into here, everybody. Let's go ahead and see what we can do. We have Mismos in the blue tights, Knights in the red, and we are ready to rip and roar and get this thing going and see what we can do. Vince, what are you thinking through this game?
I mean, the first thing that I thought about, I mean, I like to look at the comps here and, you know, try to form an opinion. I mean, immediately I look at Hachiman, Erlang, Shen, Kalina, and Cthulhu, and that is a lot of damage, you know? Like, if Hera is able to fight uncontested, then that's just the cherry on top, and they're going to be fragging the entire game. But you compare that to the lockdown potential for Mismos, and I mean, there's a lot of opportunity for them to be very disruptive and keep them from being able to do the damage they want. But the scrap is already happening. This is an absolute brawl in the middle right now. We've got members low on both sides. I don't know if we'll end up seeing a kill here, though. We've got one more member of Mismos a little bit out of position, but a nice peel from Atlas. That two-man knockup was beautiful to make sure everybody gets out relatively unscathed, only paying with their health bar at that point. But I gotta say,
all the relics were used.
Yeah, every single. Oh my gosh.
That's what saved their life.
4 out of 5 and 3 out of and 4 out of 5 on both sides.
Both meditations were ticking at once for the side of Mismos. That saved their booties.
And that's the strength of relics like that. I mean, the odds of getting a relic that's as powerful as it is, like 14 fights specifically in that way when everybody's grouped up and you can just like pump that healing to everybody around you. I mean, that's what you want to see in the current meta. I'm a little bit shocked at the double benevolence right now, specifically because the second benevolence lands on Kalina.
It is, but ideal. Hey, Trollment's a Trollment. We're gonna see what happens and makes that work. I'm sure something can be done. It looks like lane control is gonna be going in the way of Mismos right now. We do have a gank coming in. X-Ball ult is coming up. The damage is there. Is it gonna be enough for Hera? Not quite enough. The last hit is not able to do enough damage, but coming through, Nike's a little bit in trouble. No is gonna be able to jump away and live for another day. Good fight, but nothing happens.
And that's what we talked about. That is definitely the downside of Hera, as Atlas is taking a lot of damage here. Cthulhu with the dash in. Are they able to secure that kill? Hachiman ultimate will clean that one up. They might not have had enough yet. Jean-Quay on the ropes as well. A quick dash through from Hachiman will land the stun, but they can't secure the kill, even with the ultimate expended by Hera there also. But I mean, the way that they started out that fight with the Fear No Evil onto the Hera, that is pretty much their condition for taking these fights at this point.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, you want to drop the Fear No Evil on 1 to 2 members, secure a pick. Unfortunately, they just scuffed the second half of it. So hopefully next time that comes out, they'll have enough damage online to be able to secure that kill. Red buff contested here yet again. It looks like it is secured there by the Knights.
They're going to be able to pick up that Hachi. He does not have his ultimate to get out. No, he is going to be able to walk away from that one. However, they are going to continue to fight in. Cthulhu ultimate is coming out. It is going to be dealing a bunch here. What can they get away with? There is no ultimates on the side of either team. And I think it's just going to be a straight up disengage, as it looks like Knights are backing off to their base.
I mean, that many members low, I don't love using Cthulhu ultimate in that way, but I do like it. I mean,
it provided zone. It provided a good amount of zone.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that is a good play when the rest of your team is that low. Cthulhu is a hard wall to get through, especially when you don't have anything like Chin size online to, you know, shred the percent health off of the Cthulhu or anything like that. And that's a tanky boy. I mean, Benevolence into part 2 of potentially Mystical Male Sovereignty, Midgardian Male, or what's the last one? Frick. Can't think of it for the life of me.
Oh gosh.
Mystical Sovereignty.
Is it
Midgardian?
No.
Mystical Male Sovereignty, Midgardian, and what's the last one? I can't remember.
It's not Emperors in that tree, is it?
It is Emperors. Oh my gosh, I never built it. It is Emperors. I'm not an assault player. I forgot that item exists. Yeah, yeah, it is Emperors. It is Emperor's armor. Yep.
Emperor's armor. Absolutely. There we go.
So I mean,
that took me because I only build that in assault essentially. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential there for sure on the Cthulhu to get really tanky here really fast, and that's definitely what he's going to want, considering most of the dive and damage coming out is going to be the Hunbats, Shibalanke, and Nike. Jean-Quay is good if he has a lot of, you know, opportunity to do AoE, but he's not going to be able to burst down a Cthulhu. No. Not at all. So
it looks like the aggression is kind of slowing down. Mismos really wanted to play aggressive, which I love. I love aggressive play, but it looks like they're starting to slow down, realizing they can't easily take these fights right now.
Yeah. I think once they get more of the builds online, Jean-Quay just finished a Warlocks, which is a really lucky item to get on Jean-Quay in my opinion. You might see a little bit more of a contest over the red buff here.
This one looks like it's probably going to be going the way of Mismos. However, Knights are not going to let it drop like that. They are going to be coming in. They aren't going to be able to secure it. It is going to be done by Mismos. But the damage coming through, Cthulhu does not have ultimate. The jump over the top, the chase is happening in the jungle. Is it enough to finally get a kill? Can they pick him off? He goes up into the ultimate. Rose does get a kill onto that tank top, is able to get it onto Biggie Dude. And now underneath the T1, they are trapped. They got nowhere to go. Honor is going to be able to get it. However, oh my gosh, they are able to get a return kill onto the Nike. Hachi is able to get that, but now retreating back over to base. They have them zoned out. The minions are coming in. This should be a T1 tower, Vince.
Man, and that was a really good trade for Mismos. That's exactly what they're looking for there. The ultimates were expended at the proper times. Nike ultimate, right when Nike had everybody looking at her, just pops, the shield goes up and absorbs that much damage. And even though Nike ends up falling there, the amount of damage that Knights had to invest to secure that kill onto Nike that they wanted so badly, as soon as they got her to half health, made it so that the rest of the team could come in completely unhindered. The Jonquay had multiple targets getting hit by his ultimate. The Fear No Evil was on the mark. Atlas was doing everything that he needed to do with the crowd control. And then you have Shibalanke autos on top of it. And he's already got Jotuns online. He's going to be swinging.
It was perfectly done, and that's one thing that I was really looking forward to. You were talking about the control that this Mismos team has, but personally, I think their team comp works so much better as a counter engage, and that's what they were able to get. The red buff was being contested, they were doing it, and as soon as Knights step up and try to take that from them, they counter engage on them. They were able to even drop the buff and secure it, and then they just ran amok straight through everything.
Yeah, and it is a mystical mail picked up by Cthulhu, which is pretty good for just getting, you know, some solid sustained damage while you're in the middle of people. So I think that's a very lucky item for him to be able to pick up. And the other thing that a lot of people I think sleep on who aren't super familiar with items is 20% crowd control reduction.
Yes, that's huge,
so that's gonna be really
especially against that team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looks like we do have a collapse coming in on Knights in the right-hand lane. Not enough is going to be able to happen, though. They can't get the rotation quick enough. A little bit of damage came out on the tower, but now there's not a lot of engagement opportunity they have right now. All of the ultimates are available except for Cthulhu, so they could look for an engagement soon, but they really have no easy way to engage other than the blink on. Well, I mean, it's a blink onto a oh my gosh, the name is escaping me.
It's a blink onto, I'm sorry,
what
I'm not sure.
What is that warrior?
Which warrior? Erlang Shen?
Erlang Shen, there we go. Erlang Shen has a blink, but other than that, they really don't have a perfect way to engage. I mean, you're looking to blink, probably ult with Erlang into, honestly, a Cthulhu dash and ultimate. That would not be terrible.
I think realistically, what they're going to be looking for actually is just to try to poke people down with how good their range poke is. Yes. I think Kalina, Hachiman, and Hera have a lot of the best range poke in the game, and I think as long as they can win those poke trades, they're going to be in a really good spot to be able to engage or even re-engage. You know, I think Cthulhu ultimate for counter engage is really, really big. If he gets a good dash in and can like set up with his ultimate to start a fight and get a lot of poke onto people with mystical mail ticking, we might see some value there. But I would say like most of their condition for winning these fights is just being able to play off of their ultimates in a big way and whittle people down slowly over time. The only person on the other team who really has sustain is Jonquay. That's it.
That's true.
The rest of the time, they're gonna be forced back to base a lot as long as they're getting good trades with their poke.
I mean, the good news about this though, base is not that far away. So being forced back to base isn't a death sentence like it is in Conquest, where you lose out on so much farm.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a little bit on the slower side until we start to see, you know, Apophis summon up in the middle, because so far most of the engagements that have happened because of a major objective being contested, and the only major objective at this point is red buff, and that's not that major. It's definitely not worth giving up multiple kills in my opinion at this stage of the game, so I can't imagine that they're itching too hard to contest this right now. I think they just want to get a little bit more farm under their belt, as we've got about a 1k gold differential at this point, so I think they're content to just kind of sit back and get online.
Not even a chance to contest that red buff. It's dropping too quickly now. We're into that part of the game. However, I believe there's enough time for one more to drop before Apophis comes up. Is Apophis at 10 minutes or 15? I can't remember now.
To be honest with you, I'm not sure. I played Clash for the first 2 weeks. It's been a long time since
I've played this game mode, but we have some action underneath the T1 tower. They are going to be chunking that thing down while being zoned out by Hunbots and the Nike over in the left-hand jungle. The tower's going to fall, and they're not going to be able to pick up anything, and they're just going to disengage. No fight is needed. Why fight when you can just strip the objective and go, never mind, Nike's going in, slam dunk, X-Ball ult comes out, everyone is committed onto this. Now, out in the center, they're getting low. Nike is able to get the hell on to Hera. Argus is not going to be able to be a big boy anymore. Everything else is coming out. Kleina is using that big bad ultimate. Mads gets the kill on a biggie dude, and they are forced to run into their Titan room as now the Phoenix siege is happening. The Phoenix already at half health. This is going to drop.
Man, and I expected it to be a little bit of a slower played game, and I think Knights were trying to play it slow, but eventually, you know, Nike keeps jumping over enough times, you're gonna find that multi-man knockup that you're looking for that's gonna set up the rest of your team when they're ready. And I saw Nike jump in probably 3 times during that time where we were just waiting for something to happen, and she finally found the one that she was looking for, and the whole team went in on it, and that's kind of all she wrote at this point. The engages have been so good. As soon as they have the aggression, as soon as they don't need to be playing on the back foot anymore, it's over. You know, this is a comp that will lock you down and burst you. And the other thing that I'll say is I think Cthulhu needs to pop that ultimate a little bit sooner, unfortunately. I don't know if he just didn't think he had the opportunity or what, but you got to be able to pull the trigger on that as soon as the fight starts, because if you don't, it's going to be too late. And he popped it there at like 20% HP. He's not getting that good a value out of the Cthulhu ultimate, in my opinion. Just making himself a bigger target at that point.
Yeah, it was a little bit unfortunate. That probably should have been used as soon as Nike jumped in, to be perfectly honest. Enhanced Camp has now spawned in the middle. It looks like they are not going to be turning onto that one. They're going to be running them down as it's being done. X-Ball ult is going to come out. Atlas is looking, but no, they're just going to go ahead and let them disengage. They're going to group up as a team, and Mismos is going to see what they can do running down. They're splitting these lanes just a little bit.
Man, and something that we saw that a lot of people sleep on with Shibalanke is those long-range autos that he gets as soon as he pops the ultimate. Enemies obviously have the darkness enshrouding them, but his auto range gets almost doubled. I mean, it is a long-range auto attack, and Cthulhu took half of his health for that, just for not respecting that and paying attention and juking. So,
he did,
well played from Shibalanke there, securing that damage. Nice 2-man pull from Atlas, sets up for another engage here.
This is looking really good. Here they come. This is a very good counter engage from Knights. Can they make a turn for them? No. Mismos is now coming over. Jean-Qui has entered the fray. Jean-Qui says, I am here to play. That is a double kill coming out. The Phoenix is melting. Cthulhu is now up in the ultimate. Is he going to be able to get a kill off of this? The Phoenix is now down, and that is it. They're running away. No. Triple kill on Owner. What is happening, Vince? I thought that was going to go in the way of Knights, and all of a sudden, it just turned.
I mean, I gotta say, this is the danger of a character like Jean-Qui. He has one power item that appears to be fully stacked. I believe that is Evolved Warlocks. And then on top of that, Celestial Legion Play Helm has a lot of power too. And this is what happens when Jean-Qui gets ahead. He just W keys people. Jean-Qui and a Hunter ahead, God forbid somebody who swings as hard as Shibalanke, and they are pouring into the Titan room right now. We've got 3 members here attempting to defend. Got a few members low on the side of Mismos.
They might be overstaying their
welcome. That,
welcome.
picks up a kill to answer back. Looks like Kleina's looking for a little bit more, but can't get it. Shibalanke answers back.
There we go. Can they drop? There it is. That was almost a good defense by Knights onto that one. Yeah. Very close coming through. Mismos putting on the gas pedal and really swinging in that final few minutes there. 12-minute game, Vince.
Very fast. I mean, it started out so slow. We saw about like 4 minutes there where it was a complete lull and there was just nothing happening. But I gotta say, like, if you're grouping up into a Jean-Qui, if you're caught between Jean-Qui and literally any hard surface, you're gonna have a bad time if you're more than 3 people. Honestly, he pumps out that damage. It's crazy how much value he gets out of like all of the protections that he has in his passive, not to mention his build. He was able to get physical prots, magical prots, warlock staff. Nobody's killing that man. Nobody, especially not from behind.
No, that was definitely something that, I don't know, taken into place, but that was a very commanding game. Honestly, both teams played phenomenally well. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to watch the 3rd place match, but we have a grand finals, and we have a grand finals ready to go.
All right, who's in the grand finals?
So grand finals, Boomers were able to get the upper hand over Farmer Hell and Bot, so we're gonna have Boomers versus Los Mismos de Siempre.
I mean, I would say the two
I'm excited.
the two most electric games I think we watched today were the Boomers game and this last game that just happened right there. So I'm very excited for this matchup. I think both of these teams have been playing very well from what I've seen so far. We didn't get to see the first games from Mismos, but based on that match, it's looking nice. I think it's gonna come a lot down to team comps on this last section and builds. So we'll see how it goes.
It's looking pretty good. So this is what we are going to do.